Hey y'all, what's up? What it do? Welcome to the first episode of No Fashion Limits, where nothing or no one is ever off limits. I'm your host, Rashidah, and today we have a lot to talk about. From New York Fashion Week and interviewing one of London's finest, Kubi Springer, to a special guest who has family ties to the late Dapper Africa. Today's show is nothing far from fabulous. So let's get right into it. First of all, let me tell you, I live for New York Fashion Week. My first time ever attending New York Fashion Week was last year when I snuck in, and surprisingly, I met Beyonce stylist Ty Hunter and E! News Daily Pop host Morgan Stewart. I was like, hey! Although I didn't get into any shows this year, I did, however, get the opportunity to walk the red carpet where I met America's Next Top Model, Miss J. Alexander, whose catwalk was even meaner in person. Later on in the evening, I went to an editorial event at the Nomo Soho Hotel, beautiful, where I met the late creative director Dapper Africa's brother, who paid respects to his brother who passed away on August 29th. That's why I'm so excited that we have Dapper Africa's brother, Proverbs, live in the studio today. But before we talk to Dapper's brother, let's take a look at some of the fashion-forward people I got the opportunity to interview in Soho over the weekend. Take a look and we'll be right back. So what's up? I love the bathing ape. Who are you?
My name is Adrian Eleazar. I work over at Stadium Goods.
Nice. What is that?
It's a nice consignment shop, similar to Flight Club. I know a lot of you heard of Flight Club.
Definitely.
Yeah, just consignment. We're pretty much their competition right now. That's us.
Very, very cool. Where are you from?
I'm Dominican. I live in Queens. 25 years old. Anything else you wanted to know?
Your name again?
Adrian.
That's right. Okay. Love your whole entire outfit. So dope. Do they do this in the Dominican Republic?
Definitely not. I come from where it's pretty much like a third world country. Like You got people walking around barefoot, slides, all type of stuff. You got dirt on the ground. Well, that's where I'm from at least. Like I'm from, I guess they call it campo. They call it a campo, which would be just kind of like country life.
Very cool, very cool. And what inspires your style? Talk to me a little bit about what you're wearing today.
Well, I got right now off-white blazers. I know you. Shout out to Virgil for making these blazers.
Yes.
Are actually one of my favorite silhouettes, simply because of skateboarding. I'm a skateboarder. Dickies on. I got some Dickies. Nothing crazy, nothing too crazy. Dickies also evolved from skateboarding. Workwear also, you see a lot of workwear people rocking Dickies. And the Bape tee, I just got to show love to Bape. I know a lot of people there. Bape is just part of the culture, I guess,
Last but not least, if you could use one word to describe your style, what would it be and why?
I'm going to have to use the word fly.
Okay, that's the first. Why fly? That is a first.
I think I'm fly. I don't know. I like to dress up clean. I clean up nice almost every day, It's just something that represents me, I guess, the way I express myself. I express myself through my dress code, I guess.
So guys, this is one of the dopest girls I've seen all day. And when I talk about the color yellow, Nikita, girl, only you can rock it like how you rock it. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
Nikita.
Nikita, where are you from?
From New York.
You're from New York? What part of New York?
From Queens.
Queens in the house. Okay, and what brings you to Soho?
I work around here and go to school around here.
Okay, what do you do?
I'm in culinary school.
Nice, I would have never thought that.
Yep.
So cool, you look so fashion forward. Talk to me a little bit about what you're wearing.
Simple summer dress. I like to wear colors that remind me of my home, India, and like things that stand out, and also summer dress, flowers, floral.
Nice, nice. In India, is yellow a prominent color?
We love bright colors, so all bright colors, yeah.
Oh, wow, and I love your tattoos too. You have a lot of tattoos. What has inspired all your tattoos?
Well, actually, so this piece is my great-grandmother's tattoo, and like I feel that we're collections of little stories of our lives. So I like to get tattoos that to help me remember of little events that have happened in my life or things that are meaningful to me.
And does any celebrities or who inspires your style on a daily basis?
Who inspires my style? Not too sure. I think it's just like a mishmash of a whole bunch of people. I like comfy, simple things that I can wear on the go, but also dress up for a night out.
I love it, yes. And last but not least, if you could use one word to describe your style, what would it be and why?
One word to describe my style. Definitely like chic, comfy. Is that a thing?
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I want to be comfortable, but also look great.
Yes, and that you do. Thank you, Nikita. And where can we find you?
Around here, around the city, on Instagram, definitely.
What's your Instagram?
It's my name, Nikita Dasa.
Who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
Hey, I'm Cleaver Cruz.
And where are you from?
I'm from the Bronx. I'm an uptown kid.
Okay, what part of the Bronx?
Right now, I live not too far from Yankee Stadium. So,
Love it.
yeah.
Okay, and are you a student? What do you do?
Great question. I'm a writer. I'm a person who believes in black liberation. I'm a person that is just trying to be better in the world. And I'm about to go to school. So I'm like approaching student status.
Nice. What are you going to school for?
I'm going to go to grad school to study writing, English, fiction.
Okay, I can see it. I thought it was fashion design, but okay. Yes. Okay, and I love your style. Talk to me a little bit about what you're wearing.
Sure. So I hate shopping. I hate it. I don't,
Really?
Yes, I don't like more than like 30 minutes or an hour in a store. Any store is really. So I always keep my eyes open. I'm someone that is constantly looking like what is calling towards me. So like with my jewelry, I wasn't a ring wearer up until a couple years ago, and these rings just started coming to me. And so now I have a style. Like this is called Tuareg. It comes from like Northwest Africa. It's a nomadic group of people, and in my opinion, are the best metal workers in the world. If you want a really amazing silver ring handmade, look for a Tuareg ring. So this is, like these are from travel, so I bought this in New York, I got them in South Africa, wherever I can find. This was like in Harlem on the street. But the style is very distinct, and I love it because it's handmade, so I feel like I'm walking around with something that was made with love. Somebody put in sweat and effort to make it, and it's from the continent, so I feel like I'm walking with those people every time I'm wearing these rings. And then I'm someone, this button says Black Joy is Resistance. About 3 or 4 years ago, I started something called the Black Joy Project, where I've been traveling around the world asking black people what black joy means to them, and how do we understand that as a form of resistance, that if I'm in Brazil chilling with people and they're singing samba songs about political resistance, there's something to learn there. And they're dancing, like they're literally enjoying themselves. That going to South Africa and learning about how black people there are land grabbing and retaining land from the white people that stole it, while performing and dancing and doing all this shit, then that means something that we can learn from. It's to say that our entry point as black people, people of African descent, doesn't have to be around suffering. And that the suffering, in the face of that, we're also experiencing joy. That you and I are smiling, talking about fashion, these kinds of things, literally in the midst of a Trump presidency and all these things are happening, that we have to acknowledge that. And we have to understand how black people are experiencing that around the world. So that's why I wear that. That's all to say of like that has brought me to all these different places, you know, and how do I reflect that journey. So I wear this to always remind one other black person that sees this button, like, yeah, and I usually give it to whoever sees it because I have a ton of them. This is from the New York Times. I got it at a book fair last summer. It says the truth is hard. I feel like they go together.
I love it. Okay, and I noticed you also have this fanny pack going on.
I call it off-white. Hey, I didn't want to buy the real thing. But I found it also almost all my shit is on sale. I don't believe in paying full price. But you can
I like the way you think.
Yeah, you can look good on a dime.
Yes.
Don't sleep on Marshalls, y'all. So this is from this store called Reason that we're having a closing on sale. It was around here a couple years ago, so I bought one because it was like $15, even though it's way more than that usually.
Super, super cool. And are those Birkenstocks?
Okay, they're not. They're Kenneth Cole. From
Elliot, how do you do it? I'm like, your whole little outfit is so put together.
Burlington. Shout out to, I used to work with young people for a long time. One of my students is a manager at a Burlington, so she hooked me up with the discount.
Okay.
These jeans, I got them at like an outlet at Atlantic City from Old Navy. I was not fucking with Old Navy for a long time, but hey, they made some good white pants.
Yes.
So this has volcanic stone. This is from lava. This is a good energy source, and a friend gave it to me, so I use that. This is my mama's old Fitbit. I'm trying to get healthy. And I guess the last thing is this is I have a twin brother named Walter. Hey.
Hi.
He's a visual artist, and a couple years ago, his favorite artist is Basquiat, and so he designed this fabric inspired by Basquiat, and what's the name of that movie? Beat Street, the movie. The soundtrack, the artwork for that soundtrack, the cover art is designed by Basquiat. So Walter did something influence on this. So there's a way of carrying my brother's work with me, is wearing this hat. And I believe in color therapy. I'm going through a lot of shit right now. It may not seem like it. Wearing glasses are different colors, like bright colors, really helps.
Who are these by? Are these Walby Parker?
Forever 21, 590.
Listen, Elliot, yo, I gotta link up with you. I don't know about you, but like you got it all together, and I would never know, looking at you, that you had so many symbolic meanings behind all your entire style.
I appreciate. I just feel like this is another way to express who you are, and I'm someone who believes that deeply in ancestors and who came before us, and it just feels like that. I feel like I'm carrying people who are doing this work, tattooing myself with certain reminders, and choosing joy as much as possible, like really leaning into it.
I love that. And last but not least, if you could describe your style using one word, what would it be and why?
That's a good question. Me.
It's you. Okay.
Yeah.
And why? There's no one like you.
Because there's no one like me, because it just feels right. I'm not somebody that puts a lot of thought into what I'm wearing. It's just what feels right. I didn't plan the night before. This morning, looked at the closet. I knew I was going to wear white pants. It was like, all right, what shirt? Okay. Cool. I wear the same 5 rings. It's not.
What's up, y'all? This is Rashidah Young with No Fashion Limits, and right now we are at the hottest event of the year. I'm talking about people wait all year for New York Fashion Week, and when I tell you people are popping, take a look, follow me, and let's take a look at what people are rocking and what's popping. Enjoyed those fashionable looks as much as I did. I was like, work, work, work. I love how everyone came from different backgrounds and had a different aesthetic to their style. I think that's what it's all about anyways. Branding yourself through your own personal style in a way that makes you feel confident and fearless. Speaking of branding, confident, and fearless, the 3 words that perfectly describes the woman behind She Builds Brands. Kubi Springer, who I interviewed during New York Fashion Week at a cafe in Harlem. From clients like Mariah Carey, Justin Timberlake, and P. Diddy, to mega media outlets like MTV and Facebook, Kubi has definitely left a media imprint by helping people build their brand. And it doesn't stop there. Don't think that you have to spend thousands of dollars for Kubi services, because you really don't. In fact, Kubi has a book coming out on October 3rd entitled I Am My Brand. The book shares insight about how you can successfully build your brand in today's market. Take a look at the interview of Kubi and I discussing her new book and some of the setbacks that she encountered while writing her book. Kubi never fails to amaze me, and I'm so glad I got to sit down with her in Harlem. Hey y'all, this is Rashidah Young with No Fashion Limits. Right now I am in West Harlem, and I'm so excited that I get to interview no other than worldwide woman Kubi Springer. From brands like P. Diddy, Mariah Carey, and Justin Timberlake, to big media companies like MTV, Essence, and Facebook. Follow me as I grab a quick bite to eat and I talk to Kubi more about her new book, I Am My Brand, at Cafe Fredericks. Let's go and find out more. So I am so excited. Right now I am having coffee with no other than Kubi Springer. From brands like Diddy, Mariah Carey, and Justin Timberlake, to commercial companies like MTV, Essence and Facebook. Please help me welcome no other than Kubi Springer. Yes, welcome. I'm so glad to have you.
Pleasure. It's been mine.
So it's been about a year since I last saw you. Talk to me. How's business? How's family?
Business is great. Family's interested.
Okay.
It's been a journey.
Okay. Okay.
But business-wise, lots is going on. One of the things that I signed with 3 publishers this January.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's phenomenal. I mean, for those who don't know, Newsweek is the same publishing house as J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter, some of the biggest publishing houses in the world. It's amazing.
Oh my goodness. And talk to me about I Am My Brand.
Yeah, so
How long did it take for you to create your book?
You know, the interesting thing is I had 3 months to write the book. Like, that was it. From the time of signing, beginning in January, and my deadline was the 31st of March. And it was a really condensed process because what they wanted to do is they wanted me to take all of the years of experience that I had working with high-profile celebrities as well as corporate organizations and teach women particularly how to build their personal brand. And the focus is on women because, as you know, our journey is so much different to men. You know, the gender pay gap is still there. Women are still not getting paid as much money as men. You know, we're still not getting the pay rises and the promotions that men get.
Right.
And equally on top of that, there's a horrible statistic that says in the United States, 86% of women will retire at work.
Really?
Yes, sweetheart. 86% of women will retire at work. And the reason why is because we're not taught how to invest in 401ks, how to invest in the stock market. We're not taught that actually we need to ask more money and a pay rise, etc. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take my experience and package it in a book targeted at women to teach us. Don't be afraid of money. Don't be afraid of your dream. Don't be afraid of your life.
Yes. You know what, Kubi? I feel like you are really the epitome of a worldwide woman. You know, from London to New York, Malaysia to Africa. How do you find that balance?
That is a good question. I think that balance is one of those things that's seasonal. You know, there's a time when you're going to have to grind and work it out, and there's a season for you to be able to do it in rewards. And I think a lot of people want this idea of work-life balance, but I think that's baloney. I think you just have a season where you've got to grind and you've got a season where you can read.
Right.
And in that grinding season, just take a couple of days for self-care, but grind nevertheless.
Right.
So for me, you know, we're about to launch the book. The last month alone, I've been in Malaysia, Indonesia, Shanghai, New York, London, Amsterdam. You've got to grind.
And you know, I love it because you came into the market at 17. Only at 17. I think I remember you telling me you started out with Essence, if I'm not mistaken, living here in New York, right? You've been in business now for 24 years. You know, what did it take to become the fabulous woman that you are today? I mean, did you encounter any setbacks or any difficulties?
Yeah, I think
So how did you overcome them?
that's a really good question. I think there were setbacks all along the way. I often say to young people, you know, don't believe the hashtags. This is hard work.
Yeah.
And there are going to be setbacks. And even when I was writing the book, during the process of writing,
So the process of writing your book, right? And I remember you talking to me about this last year too.
Yeah.
So that happened. Where now is all of a sudden you're writing a book and you want to get a book.
Right.
How do you handle that?
So a lot of prayer.
Yeah,
First
of course.
I think that you need to be healthy enough to pause when you need to do it, what I teach you, but also you need to use it as a tool. And what I quickly realized is that in my book, I'm teaching women to be authentic, I'm teaching them to be honest, I'm teaching them to be vulnerable and truthful.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, I now need to do that in this process. And so I wrote about it. I finished the book talking about how I've got through it. And part of that getting through it was recognizing that I need to be better, not bitter. And whatever that means,
better, not bitter.
Better, not bitter.
So many people have to hear that.
Right? Should we say it again?
Better, not bitter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whatever that
Yeah.
is, whether
Yeah.
you need to get a psychiatrist,
Totally.
whether you need to have a one-to-one with a doctor,
Having
only
a
one,
supper.
or too many, right? Whether you need to hit the gym, I talk about it, how it's tying in the gym to
Right.
release the pain.
Right.
You have to do, that's what you do. You know, as I was writing the book, that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do.
You know what, and I love it. Because even despite of all of that, look at yourself, really. I mean, you still get yourself together really well, you still carry yourself, you're still taking care of business. I mean, anybody going through that, but all that can break down the fall. Going through the process of creating a book, you know, it requires a lot.
It does. Don't get me wrong. I had that moment.
As we're all human.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But in that moment, I came on social media.
You did.
Yeah, because that's another thing as well. You don't want to go through that and use Instagram like your parents would share. Don't do that now. It's no good for your brand, right? But I announced it once I had gone further enough on the journey that it was now a gift, not a burden. And I think that's key. You know, when you go through the pain, get to the place where you can turn that pain into a gift. And then you present that gift to the world and say, this is what I learned from this gift. Now over to you.
Okay. We're definitely going to talk more about your book. But I know you're also a part of the radio called BBC Radio 5.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your radio. How's radio going for you?
Yeah, so the BBC obviously is the British Broadcast Corporation. It is the biggest institution in the UK.
Oh, wow.
And so I've been on there now for a year. I've been on there as a guest contributor.
Okay.
Really just analysing all the business news with a brand focus. So anything that's going on with the brands globally, I'll cover it on the BBC, which is great. And then juggling that with motherhood. So I'm here in New York with my brother. He's about to walk in New York Fashion Week.
Wait. Yes. Because, you know, I met you at Harlem Fashion Week.
Yes.
And I remember seeing you had on this, like, turquoise, black and white. It's like a romper, like a jumpsuit. And immediately when I saw you, I knew you were a powerful person. I didn't know who you were, but I knew you were a powerful person. I have to know her. You know, and so for your daughter to be a part of Harlem Fashion Week, what does that mean to you?
You know, for me, it's everything. I think that as parents, you know, we're vessels for our children, right? And she said to me when she was 2 years old, like the child was just about to talk. And she was like, I want to be on YouTube. And I was like, no, baby, not yet. No, can you learn how to talk first? But I promised her when you turn 7, I'll facilitate that journey. And so now she's 7, she's like, okay, let's go. So yeah, we kicking and screaming, mommy is facilitating.
You know, when I see her on your Instagram doing her photo shoots, I mean, she's really in it.
Yeah,
You're branding her very, very young.
Yeah, but I think it's important for parents that when the child has a gift and they have a dream, to not squash that dream.
Yeah.
And to do whatever you can in your power to facilitate that dream come alive, but also to protect them in the process. You know, so I said to her, she can come on my Instagram, but she's not allowed her Instagram yet. When you get a little bit older, then we can expose you to the comments and all the rest of it.
Right, absolutely. So in addition to having your daughter as your client, figuratively, who else are you working with currently? Who recently have you worked with?
So I finished the campaign with Aston Martin, which was amazing. And that was my last major campaign.
Okay.
I got signed as a now published author. And then, you know, I had to make a decision. Do I want to continue campaigns or do I want to travel the world promoting my book and speaking on global stages? And I was like, actually, now is the time. 23 years when I've done Aston Martin, I was like, now is the time to turn me into the brand. And so yeah, now we're just focused on traveling the world, doing the book, speaking, teaching, training.
And how does that vary? Because I know you also speak at NYU, you've spoken at Kings County. I'm honestly presenting somewhere. How does that correlate from fashion to cars to NYU? I mean, how do you tie them all together?
Well, branding is a formula, and a lot of people don't appreciate that it's more science than it is creativity. So once you understand the formula, I can apply it to you in the same way I can apply it to Diddy, in the same way I can apply it to Aston Martin, in the same way I can apply it to L'Oreal. It's a formula, the same way I can apply it to Google or Facebook. There's a formula to building a brand. And so now as a speaker or a trainer, what I'm doing is I'm teaching people the formula. Because once you've got a formula, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you can excel. So that's why now the portfolio is so varied.
Wow. And do you have a favorite? One of your favorite clients?
Oh my God.
No,
Do I have a favorite? I think in this season I'm loving working with Facebook.
Okay.
You know, because they're Facebook. Right?
Absolutely.
They're Facebook. Right? 1 in 3 people on the planet who have access to the internet are on Facebook. And they're going through a challenge and a transition yourself. So kind of working with them in this season is a lot of fun.
And what do you say about marketing yourself through the social media sector? I feel like Facebook and Instagram is the biggest that it's ever been. How do you take advantage of marketing your brands and marketing yourself properly? What do you think about that?
I think the first thing you need to do is you need to be clear on what your market is.
Okay.
So I often say to people, define your brand or the world you define it for you.
Okay.
A lot of people on these social media platforms, they haven't worked out exactly what is their brand. And so they just come across like a hot mess. It's just like 1 minute they're a yoga instructor, then they're a scientist, then they're a hairdresser, then they're a model, then they're a vlogger, then they're a blogger. Like, what are you doing? So I often, when I work with clients, particularly personal brands, I say, let's take a minute before we market the brand. What is the brand?
Right.
And part of my course is getting people to analyze and understand and carve out what exactly is the brand, because then when you're clear, then the marketing kicks in. So that's the first thing I would say to people. Course. Know what you're doing. Know what you're doing.
And if you could tell your younger self anything at 17, what would it be? You tell yourself, it could be your writing self. You're creating this book on if you could go back and tell your younger self something, what do you think it might be?
I think I would tell myself two things, which is one, the BS is there to build you, not break you.
Okay, the BS is there to build you, not break you.
And it's going to keep coming because that's life, right? We only ever grow through difficult times. And when we appreciate that, we then can utilize the difficult times and say, what are the lessons here, and not get stuck in the pain. That's the first thing I would tell myself. The second thing I would tell myself is that your fabulous just as you are. And I think there's a woman and there's a black woman who are not always enough. You're fabulous just as you are. And so we're constantly trying to assimilate to be something else. And actually you don't need to be anything else but you. You just need to show up as you and believe in you, representing you. And the world will fall into place.
Right. Absolutely. I always get so inspired when I speak to you. I'm like, you're just so inspiring to be on so many levels. And what inspired you to even create this book, I Am My Brand? I mean, you talked about really kind of dedicating a platform to it. But I mean, I spoke to you about 8 months ago, and you're like, I'm writing this book. I need a space to write. I need somewhere to be inspired. I mean, did you always want to write a book? I know you have another book you came out with. What was the first book you came out with? At 30, I think.
Correct. So when I was 30 years old, I had an unpublished book.
What is that?
Yeah, and I think I write from where I am. So when I was 29, turning 30, I felt really empty. I was this tick box of a resume, like L'Oreal, tick, Beyonce, tick, Nike, tick, Diddy, tick, 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 tick. But I didn't feel whole. And so I was asking myself the question, what is fabulous? And in the process of asking it, I wrote the book. So now this time I am my brand, I'm at that crossroad myself, right? 24 years in the game. I'm like, actually, it's time for you to step into your own spotlight. What does that look like? And so I think I write from a place of wherever I am and whatever I'm going through. I recognize that I'm going through it. My tribe is also going through it. So let's give it a
Yes. And that book was published. This is I Am My Brand. I mean, we can find it where? At Barnes & Noble, Amazon. Talk to me about where I can find your book.
So, I feel like God is so good. So it's at Target, it's at Barnes & Noble, W.H. Smith in the UK, Amazon, obviously. Pretty much, I think it's something like 11 different bookstores nationally. So we will be available. And in January 2020, when we start promoting the book in the US, we've got like a 6-week tour. Which is phenomenal,
And is that going to be around the world?
Well, in January, it's literally just the States. So we're doing New York, Boston, Chicago, DC, Atlanta, and LA. It's super exciting.
I'm anticipating. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, it's amazing. God is good. And like in November, we're doing an Asian tour in Malaysia, Shanghai, Philippines, and Indonesia, and LA.
Stop it. Here's places and be you.
I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary. A lot of people say to me, how do you feel being a woman? How do you feel being a black woman? And I say, it's not me, right? If not you. And I think it's important to kick down the doors and constantly say to yourself, if I'm the first one in, it's not me. You're meant to be there. So go.
Great, great. And what would you say to the woman who is having a difficult time finding her spotlight? What advice do you think you might give to women looking to step in her spotlight? Right.
I think the first thing is go quiet and go within. So if you're unsure, or maybe you're so talented that you're bouncing from one thing to the other, just go quiet and listen to the truth. Because the truth is always in there. But sometimes we're so busy that we haven't got the time to listen to the truth. I say, just stop, pause, and listen to what's going on. Last year when I was doing African market, I knew my truth. I knew I needed to be doing speaking. I knew I needed to be writing a book. But I was petrified. Right? That's the truth. And then once I realized what the truth was, then it was time to have gumption and to act despite the fear. So the second thing I would say is act despite the fear. And then the third thing is get the right people around you. Because you cannot do this journey alone. I'm here in New York, my daughter's walking as I mentioned, but my nanny is with us because I can't do it on my own. I can't be here with you and then have her running around like a crazy person. You need support. So be very clear on what that support system is. And as women, take off the superhero cap. Like take the tape off, put it on the floor, and be like, I'm not doing that anymore. I need support and get those people around you.
Right, absolutely. Well, I definitely want to speak to your daughter too. I know you have a daughter here with you, so I'd love to bring her out so we can talk more about Harlem Fashion Week. But before we do that, what are you going to be doing at Harlem Fashion Week this Sunday?
So I'm going to be a judge.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so exciting.
Yeah, so I'm going to be a judge, not for the kids show, because that would be real nepotism. Let's not do that. But I'm going to be a judge at the adult side for the Emerging Designer Showcase.
Oh my God. And what can you expect to see at Harlem Fashion Week?
So you know what, to be honest, I have on purpose not done background research like I did last time. I was like, I want to be pleasantly surprised. So I'm looking forward to it just like you.
Yes, as you should. You can't see it before it happens.
No.
So right now we're going to bring out your daughter and then we're going to talk to her more about what you see around Harlem Fashion Week. Let's do it. So let's bring her out. Now to the self-professed fashion icon, the one and only Dapper Africa. Dapper Africa was a creative director and a fashion stylist who paved the way for so many artists looking to tell their story through the revolution of fashion, music, TV, and performing arts. Dapper Africa was a person of color that people could look up to for innovative looks and more than less for a sense of enlightenment. In a world full of conformists, Dapper Africa was one of a kind. From African prints to bold accessories like bracelets, necklaces, and hats, Dapper Africa was the man. He worked on a variety of editorial events and shoots with Fashion Bomb Daily, Vibe Magazine, Vogue Italy. In fact, if it wasn't for Dapper Africa, the fashion industry wouldn't be as fly as it is today. So without further ado, I would like to introduce one and only, a special guest, Proverbs Taylor, who is Dapper Africa's brother. So Proverbs, what's up?
What's up? What's up? How are you? Thank you for the invite.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there. First of all, thank you for just giving my brother the shout out and just the shine and the love.
Oh my God, without a doubt.
Yes.
Like, that's so needed.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad you can make it. I never got the opportunity to meet your brother, but I heard nothing but amazing things about who Dapper Africa was. And, I was an Instagram stalker. I was looking at all that creativity going on and taking a look at you. You're so creative. Talk to me about who you are before we get into the interview.
I guess I'm trying to describe myself now with few words.
Okay.
So I would say I'm just an all-around media artist, director, and teacher.
Okay.
As well as a student.
Okay. And what about a stylist? Because I'm taking a look at your outfit right now, and I'm living for it.
Yeah, I do style, but I also design. So I have a clothing line coming out, and I paint and play in all medias. I kind of have fun with it too. I mean, it kind of runs in the family. Make a long story short, we're all creative.
Right.
But I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I want to talk about Dapper.
Yeah.
And then I'll let it naturally come out of me.
Dapper, definitely. And I know you said that it runs in the family.
Right.
I think something that we all want to know.
Right.
Is Dapper Africa your real brother, or what's the deal with that?
Okay.
And how long have you known him?
Well, to me, Dapper is my real brother. Beyond flesh, beyond blood. There's just people in life that God puts us with.
Yeah.
And regardless of if you were blood or not, you may spend more time with those people than the people you actually have blood with.
Absolutely.
So for me and Dapper, God just connected us, and from the point that we were connected over like 20-something years ago, it's never been anything else other than brothers.
Oh, wow. So you guys were reconnected after
Yes.
20 years of being
Actually, really,
disconnected.
after like at least 25 years, we were reconnected.
Oh, wow.
And we were in New York, and make a long story short, we was at a Russell Simmons party, and
Okay.
the vibe caught me. And I just went down and spoke to him, and then the rest was all history from there.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, so coincidence. I was in the right place at the right time, and the person that had caught my eye turned out to be my little bro.
Turned out to be your little bro. And
Yeah.
how far apart are you guys?
Well, Dapper, let's say 6-7 years.
6-7 years.
Yeah, in between.
Okay, and talk to me about, you said that you met him at a Russell Simmons party.
Well,
Walk me through, what does that look like? How did you meet him?
Okay, well, during this particular time in the 90s, I was a Wilhelmina model, and
I believe it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So during the time in the 90s, things was a little bit different. You
Okay.
know, internet wasn't there, but it was really, really high fashion, things crossing over, people kind of mixing things together, personality styles, kind of breaking down the color wall of fashion. So Russell Simmons, Puffy, Fubu, there was a point in fashion where we kind of came out and was making and creating our own stuff besides Dapper Dan and Cross Colors.
Yes.
Because before that, it was them two and Kanai. Carl Kanai was running the scenes, but then it was a new generation that had came in, which is Puffy, Fat Farm. So Russell Simmons was the man because he had Fat Farm, and then he had Baby Fat coming out.
Right, I remember
And
that.
so everybody basically was up under Russell Simmons. So this particular party, kind of think about it, everybody from Donald Trump
Oh, wow.
to LL Cool J was all in the room. A completely different vibe, all love. Where things are now, I think, a little bit more separate. You know what I mean? Because you talk about Donald Trump now, it's not the same Donald Trump that was in that party. Let alone dancing next to LL Cool J. So imagine just a good utopia of fashion people from Wall Street all the way down to just creatives like Basquiat, all in one room just having a good time.
Yeah.
And Russell had just dropped a book. So he was transforming now from fashion to being an editorial person, or should I say an author, because he had wrote a book about his life.
Yeah, yeah. And I know you talked a lot too. I know we spoke earlier about you being on your own at 11.
Right.
And I know that Dapper Africa was also on his own at 11.
Right.
How did he make it? I mean, this is somebody who was on his own at only 11 to someone who has been in Vogue magazine, Vibe, Elle. He's a creative director. I mean, how did he go from A to B? Who opened the door for him?
I would say really, I cannot start it off without saying his mother.
Okay.
His mother was already in the industry in the South, and she was doing some things, behind the scenes, which kind of rubbed off on him. And then second, she also put him in a performing arts school where he, got to nurture some of his talents from singing, performing, anything dealing with the stage aspect or being in front of the camera. Also to the technical things of being in back of the camera. And then I would say leaving from that, then jumping into New York.
From North Carolina.
From North Carolina.
Right.
And he recently had lived in New York, but, born here, went to North Carolina, and then came back. And when he came back during that time that I just told you. So take that schooling, and now you jump into a whole bunch of organic life, Black power, self-awareness through fashion, especially here in New York. It's definitely about self-awareness, where I think some people, you go to Cali, LA, it's more like fashion because of how you want to wear it, but it's not necessarily a Black Panther shirt.
No.
It's not necessarily red, black, and green. It's not necessarily Africa.
There's no meaning behind it. Right.
Well, it's a different type of meaning.
A different type of
Not a
meaning.
self, Africa, black people type of meaning behind it.
Where did the name Dapper Africa come from?
Well, let's break that down. Before he changed his name to Dapper Africa, it was Yashin.
Okay.
So he was going through his pilgrimage of, adding on to his personas.
Yeah.
So Dapper Africa came in, I want to say like around the early 2000.
Okay.
And that's when he decided that he was going to take everything that he was already doing and take it to another level, because he was already songwriting and ghostwriting for people.
Right.
He was already dancing and choreographing stuff, but on the low. But then, lo and behold, he just started painting one of the walls in the living room one day. And he was like, yo, you know what? I'm going to start doing a lot of photo shoots. I'm going to grab these people, get this person, get that person.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, the living room became the first studio.
His playground.
That's it. And then from there, the roof. And then from there, it just all kind of came together.
And was Dapper Africa always who he is? I mean, and what I mean by that is he wasn't afraid not to conform. And when you see his style, it's evident. And I think looking at you, I think you're the same. I think that you do your own thing. And what does that mean to not conform and to do your own thing?
Well, to answer the first question, I think we all may have started from a point where we conformed.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to find ourselves. And not in a good or bad way, but just in general, like, you wake up and you see what's on TV, or you see what your parents have, or what's in your culture, and you take that. And then there comes a point where you're like, you know what? Oh, I like what this steampunk person over here is doing, and I like what this Spanish person over here is doing, and you start mixing other...
Getting inspired.
From other cultures and backgrounds, and then you find out, well, hey, you know what? In our culture, if you wear this particular kente cloth, they use this in this ceremony. So then I believe for Dapper, when he found that he loved fashion, but then mixing it with our heritage, that the way we put our stuff together, there is meanings behind the fabrics. There's meanings behind accessories and the way that we decorate ourselves or adorn ourselves with headdresses or any other accessory. I think for him, he took that on personally and was like, you know what, I'm going to make sure that people don't sleep on Africa. And I'm going to do it not only in this kind of way, I'm going to do it in an elegant and a high fashion way, in an avant-garde type of way that no one could kind of turn it away. And I'm going to take the simplest things and show you that you can put this on backwards or upside down.
Definitely.
And then also apply it to your life where that don't let nobody lock you in a box. If you want to come outside with braids today, come outside with braids today. If you want to come out bald tomorrow, you don't have to answer nothing to anybody.
Period.
It should be about how
You're
you feel.
absolutely right, Proverbs.
Yes.
Tell me about one of your fondest moments with Dapper Africa.
I have a lot.
You
but,
do? If you could pick one.
I will pick one. So to talk about all the journeys of, one thing I learned from Dapper is that not only can you speak things into existence, which we all know, but I watched him go from painting that wall to me seeing you in LA. So just like how we ran into each other in New York and we good, everything Gucci, 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 bun cool, but then we brothers and we lived together, then separated and did what we did. But now here it is, we speaking and I'm in LA and you're like, yo, bro, I see you on the gram, I'm in LA too.
Oh, wow.
Hold up. When'd you get here? I just got to show up. So to watch him take his whole lifestyle and decide, well, hey, I'm going to do it a little similar to Basquiat, who didn't have a permanent address. They may have made money. They may have stayed in B&Bs. They may have stayed in other people's places, kind of like a gypsy. I like to say a supreme gypsy life, not like just sleeping outside. But if they wanted to, they would. Because to them, it didn't make a difference. It's not like, oh, I'm sleeping outside because I'm poor. I'm sleeping outside because I decided this is where I want to sleep. Or I'm sleeping outside because I decided that I don't want to deal with any of the worldly issues of, I don't want to pay this bill.
Okay. I think we've all been there.
Those
bills do add up.
Yeah. So for me, I think it was amazing to see him speak something, end all the way up in LA. I mean, like you said, from Vogue to all the different people that he worked with was one thing, but it was also the traveling. To come from a background where you only get on the train or the bus, and then your career takes you on a plane. That's a
Yes.
whole nother experience
Right,
where
right.
some people get to do that every day. But for people from the city or how we grew up, no, it was our careers that took us outside of our neighborhood and allowed us to get on trains, planes, and automobiles. Otherwise, no, we would be stuck in the same little area just like someone else. So
Yeah.
to watch his career take him all the way to Morocco.
Oh, wow. Morocco.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And which was one of the last trips that he did in the last 3 months
Okay.
of his life.
Yeah.
He was able to go there, sort of watch that just fully manifest from everything that, like people say, you should take stuff and write it down.
Yeah,
If you
my
took,
mom says that a lot.
right.
To
Well,
write everything down.
so let's say for Dapper, if you took a picture and put him on a board, he did everything that was on that board. And I watch it all happen with or without
do you
money.
believe in that?
No, I do too. But
Every
to watch
year
it
I create
happen,
a vision board
but to
about what I
watch it
wanna do,
happen,
to see it manifest.
that's completely
It's
different.
scary.
It's completely different.
I put New York on my board 2
Right,
years ago
right.
that I would be living in New York. I mean, it's crazy to put it down on a board and then
Watch
to
it
see
happen.
manifest is bonkers.
Right. So
yeah.
so for me, I was happy to see that whatever he did envision,
yeah.
it happened. And then we could be in situations where he got a job where he was making $20,000. And that particular job, I'm not gonna say no names for whoever the people are, but to watch him
Yeah.
get that type of job and
Yeah.
be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go sleep on the bench and got $20,000 in the bank.
And got $20K in the bank.
But now check this. He would sleep on the bench,
Mm-hmm.
but out of that 20, he would pay for a makeup artist, edits. When he do live
A creator.
performances, he would pay for the musicians. Like
Oh,
he put his
wow.
money where it needed to be.
Uh-huh.
It didn't necessarily have to go for sleeping. You know what I mean? If he
Right.
wanted to go get a B&B or do something like that or come stay at my place or wherever he wanted
Right.
to go, he could do
Right,
that.
right.
But the frame of mind of understanding of when you make your money and how we was talking earlier, the things that we love to do, but to turn it into a business is
Yes.
something different. So then we have to make certain sacrifices, conscious sacrifices. So for him, when he would make money, he would have a budget and he would be like, okay, the last thing I'm gonna think about is if I'm gonna take any money out of this to go stay somewhere.
Oh, wow.
The first thing is, no, if I do this project, I need professional edits. So I'm gonna pay for the best editor. I'm not gonna cut no corners in that. If I'm gonna do live music, I need the best musicians, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay for the talent. So he put his money where it was supposed to be, where that some people try to accomplish the same things and then they come up short because you're still trying to take 1,000 out of that and pay for your rent or pay for other things that you really need to too. But the name of the game is to try to lower your budget so that the more money that you make can go back into your business.
Yes, yes,
So then
yes.
that can turn into, 7-figure income or 7 sources of income.
And I think
he
that's
did.
what it's all about.
Yes.
Investing in yourself.
Yes.
And I think we can see that Dapper Africa has really reaped the dividends of investing in himself.
Yes.
Because, now he has a legacy. And talk to me a little bit about the Reset Memorial Party that went on this week.
Yes.
Was it this week or
Yes,
last week?
it was this week.
It was this week.
yes.
Talk to me about that.
Well, it was 2 days ago. It was a few of us who put it together, actually
Okay.
4 people to be exact. It was
Okay.
me, Sis, Jamel, his mother, and his son who's out in the lobby. He's here in the building.
Yeah. All respects to him.
Chelsea Music Hall was one of the first people. Once everybody found out that he passed away, the phones and internet, everything hit us. A lot of people wanted to help
believe it.
out and do something.
Yeah.
So Chelsea Hall definitely was the first people to be like, hey, you could use the place for free.
Yeah.
Actually, that was the last stage that he had performed on before he passed away.
Oh, wow.
So it was just really, really cool to bring it full circle.
Yeah.
We put it together, but one of the things that I wanted to say, not only did he show you how to do things budget-wise, he really invested into people and taking art and, he would see a homeless person and put some makeup on them. He would see a woman or somebody going through something and he would find a way to use fashion to make them have a better day.
Yes,
Which I thought is really amazing, which added to his legacy
Yes,
of
absolutely.
all the people that he touched. So there's a variety of people from the industry all the way down to people that are not in the industry that he's touched and use fashion and makeup and art and words.
Yeah.
Or just a moment of just breaking a piece of bread with them
Period.
and sharing that moment.
Right. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a lot. When you give, you're giving from your heart. And
Right.
you seem like that type. Looking at you, I could already see it. And so I'm so thankful that you got the opportunity to come here and talk to me about your brother. But before we end, is there anything that you think Dapper Africa would want us to know or would want us to take from him being here on this earth?
I would say, yeah, there's a lot of things. One, just go back through his Instagram.
That we
but
do.
just in a couple of words, reset. His favorite word was reset.
Hmm.
Always stop and reset yourself and re-gauge your feelings of how you're treating the person next to you. Re-gauge the feelings of how you're treating yourself.
Yeah.
You know, stop and reset and take the moment and try not to be selfish.
Yeah.
And too caught up in your own feelings and emotions that you forget that, you know, to me, I believe tomorrow is always promised.
Tomorrow is always promised.
To me, I feel that way because even when he's not here, he's still here. If you believe in the spirit, you still keep going into another realm.
Yes, yes.
But for here on earth, tomorrow is promised. So do something nice today so that person can celebrate you today.
I love that.
And they'll celebrate you tomorrow.
Yes.
And they'll celebrate you the next day. But if you're not giving nobody nothing sweet, ain't nobody going to celebrate you.
How can they celebrate you? Okay.
Unless they Jesus.
That's right.
I mean, and unfortunately, a lot of people are not like Jesus.
No.
No,
But he's within all of us.
Right.
So, you know.
But that's a choice that you got to take on your own. And that's his own issue and show with people.
Yeah.
But I think really
we're all
ultimately.
battling something.
Yeah. And I look at it like Dapper was a modern form of a Jesus, you know?
A Gandhi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's the same thing to
Yeah.
me. I'm like, you could say Gandhi, you could say Jesus,
You could say
Martin Luther
Allah,
King.
you could say God. They all have one name. It's only one person, one
That's
spirit.
it.
That's
it.
all.
You could say Martin Luther King. You could say
Hey.
Malcolm. To me, anybody that
Adam,
is.
for all I care.
That's it. If you put in your
You know.
if you put in your life and your passion and your love on the line for
Absolutely.
us, all I could do is just say thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, and all I can do is say thank you for coming today, Proverbs. It's
Thank
been
you.
amazing talking
you,
to you,
Rashidah.
and I'm so thankful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So,
Ashe.
Ashe. Yes.
Yes.
Let's take a look back at some of Dapper Africa's greatest moments with family and friends right after the break. I'm so sad that Dapper Africa has passed away, but his legacy will continue to live on through the creators and innovators of our time. So now I want to introduce our next guest, who resides in Brooklyn and creates sacred healing tools with a variety of crystals. Her name is Modesty, and let me tell you, her designs are far from modest. A self-proclaimed rapper, designer, and alchemist, please help me with welcoming Modesty to No Fashion Limits. What's up, girl?
What's up? How are you?
Good. How you feeling?
Excellent. Thank you. For having
Welcome.
me. Thank you, Rashidah.
Girl, so let me tell you, when I first met you, I met you a week ago. We were at an editorial party at the Nomo Soho Hotel. And when I first saw you, girl, I knew you were a vibe. From your headpiece to your ensemble, I was like, who's this goddess? And I think I walked up to you and I was like, who are you?
My name is Modesty. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I create these divine pieces. They're for numerous reasons. Like they have a lot of different purposes. I create crowns. The crowns are to get you more calm. The energy from the crystals are to bring forth harmonious and peaceful vibrations from the earth.
Okay.
So we also create Organite. Organite is life force energy, and it helps us to bring forth healing to our body and also protect us from electromagnetic pollution.
Oh, wow. So you have a line. You do
Yes.
have a line. And is the line called Sacred Healing Tools?
It's called, that's my Instagram. My
Okay.
line is called Eternal Healing Souls.
Oh, wow.
That's the website.
Okay, okay.
So, yes, that's what we're for. Healing the divine souls and connecting.
Oh my God, I'm all
bring
for
the
it, girl.
happiness.
I live for stuff like that. So, have you always been into crystals?
Yes.
And do you believe that they really do keep like bad energy and bad vibes away?
Crystals help me a lot with everything.
Really?
Yes.
With men too?
Everything.
And income?
Everything.
Oh, wow.
I started
Talk
off
to
with
me about
about
it.
6 crystals. Now I think I have about 60,000.
No, are you? Oh my God, are you serious? So,
Yes.
talk to me about your favorite crystal and how do you get into crystals?
Okay,
Because I know
so-
nothing about crystals and I would love to learn more.
Okay, so your aura, you have 7 chakras, and each chakra has a each chakra has a crystal that connects you.
Okay.
That is connected to. So
Okay.
the chakras are energy vortexes that spin at a certain vibration. So if it's slowing down, you'll notice it. So some people do, some people don't. But your aura is what protects you. So if all of our chakras are spinning at the correct clockwise position, then your aura is strong and powerful. But if you have leaks, you're sick or something like that, then you need crystals to help enlighten you and organize the energy around you.
Okay. And how long does it take for you to create your pieces? Or does it vary?
Yes, it also goes with a vibe. I really have to be feeling that vibration to connect it. I can't just create it because it comes from the spirit within, and it tells you when to create and when not to create. But they are really beautiful, and I really love them.
They are beautiful, girl.
And I have a connection to each and every one. If I lose one, I'm feeling some type of way.
Wait.
Like
so are you that girl who keeps crystals in her pockets?
Everywhere.
Oh, do you?
Pocket,
oh my God, I had a girlfriend
bra,
like that who
everything.
like kept crystals everywhere and was very in tune. So I love that. And I know, aside from this, I know you're a rapper.
Yeah.
Talk to me about who you are as a rapper, girl. And I mean, are you feeling confident to spit a little verse real quick? Can we hear a little verse?
Oh my God. Wow. Okay. I
okay.
would,
Yeah,
but I have to get into that mode.
You have to get into the vibe, totally.
The crystals are so calm, and then my rap is like,
oh, it's aggressive?
Yeah, it's a little
I'm
aggressive.
gonna fuck you up. No, I'm kidding.
It's like I really want to change the world, and I really want our community to come together, and I'm really upset at what's going on in the community. So I'm kind of screaming at them, like, listen, you are greatness. Bring forth greatness.
Yes. So before we end, I met you at an editorial event where we were paying honors to the late Dapper Africa. And I know you have experience with Dapper Africa. Tell us a little bit about what Dapper Africa meant to you.
Oh, wow. Okay, so honestly, I went to 14th Street. What was it? Was it 14th Street? Yes, Union Square, and I was selling my pieces, and I just happened to meet Dapper Africa. I heard about him so many times, and I didn't know that was him that I met that day. So I just saw him, and I was, gravitated towards him. We connected. We spoke. He said, I have a shoot. I love your pieces. I want you to come. We had a shoot at Tyrone's house.
Okay, for
Beyonce
those
design.
of you who don't know who Tyrone is, he's Beyonce's stylist, and I love me some tie-tie. But continue.
Yes, he's definitely amazing. He's a sweetheart. So when I went over there and I was exposed to all this greatness, this beauty, this fashion, being around them, I left inspired. So I left making clothes. This is somebody.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
That I created.
Modesty.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Well, where can we find your designs?
At eternalhealingsouls.com.
Okay.
Yes. And at Sacred Healing Tools on Instagram. But yes, working with Dapper Africa was absolutely amazing. He has like these styles that are out of this world. He makes you work. He's different with the way he does things, and you definitely know why. Why he's different, because he's just like in another dimension. Like he could be here with you, but in a total other dimension. Like it's out of this world. The experience that I experienced with him, it was really deep.
Oh, wow.
And just an amazing, authentic person, and he just spoke from his soul. He didn't care about what anyone felt. He just spoke from his soul.
Right. I love that.
So I really appreciated that experience with him.
Yeah, and before we end, what do you want the people to know about you and your designs, Modesty? What sets you apart from other people who make crystals? Because, hey, honey, listen, y'all, I don't think y'all know. I got to take the hat off so y'all can see what's up. So I can feel like a queen.
Gorgeous.
This is made by Modesty. So, Modesty, what do you want the people to know about your designs before we end?
Okay, so I want you to know that they are coming from an authentic space and peace in my heart. I love making them, and the energy that goes into helping people heal. It is absolutely amazing, because I attract such beautiful goddesses, beautiful people, and then to see them buy my pieces and then take off and do more and more great things. Like, I love it.
Yes, Modesty.
Absolutely divine.
Well, thank you for coming. I'm so thankful to have you, and I feel like a goddess with this crown on right now. I'm not giving it back, girl. Hey, y'all. So that wraps it up for the first episode of No Fashion Limits, where nothing or no one is ever off limits. I'm your host, Rashidah, and I have my guest, Modesty. I will see you next week, y'all. And you can follow me at soho2boho.com for fashion tips and inspos of the day. I'll see you later. Deuces.